Sanhua is not a character who seeks attention. She does not raise her voice, she does not fill conversations with unnecessary words. Instead, Sanhua exists in stillness, calm, quiet, controlled. In a world filled with powerful resonators and larger than life personalities, Sanhua feels almost invisible by comparison. But silence can carry weight, and still water can hide incredible depth. Because Sanhua is not defined by what she says, she is defined by what she endures. At first glance, Sanhua appears composed to an almost unnatural degree. Her posture is perfect, her movements are precise, her speech is direct and minimal. Everything about her suggests discipline. She approaches every situation with the mindset of someone who has trained herself to maintain control under any circumstance. This discipline extends to her role within Jinzhou. Sanhua serves not simply as a warrior, but as someone entrusted with responsibility and loyalty to those she protects. Where other characters may act impulsively or emotionally, Sanhua acts with calculated restraint. She speaks only when necessary, she moves only when required. Every action is deliberate. One of the most interesting aspects of Sanhua's character is that her strength is expressed through restraint rather than aggression. Many warriors define themselves through power displayed outwardly, overwhelming force, explosive techniques, dramatic battles. Sanhua is different. Her combat style is clean, controlled, efficient. Rather than flooding the battlefield with chaos, she cuts through it with precision. This approach reflects the philosophy behind her character. Power is not something to flaunt, it is something to control. And the more dangerous the power becomes, the more discipline it requires. Sanhua's connection to glacio abilities reinforces her personality in subtle ways. Ice in storytelling often symbolizes emotional control. It represents calmness, distance, and the ability to remain unmoved even when circumstances become extreme. But ice also carries another meaning: pressure. Ice forms through slow accumulation and intense environmental forces. It is stable only because the conditions around it allow it to remain that way. That metaphor fits Sanhua remarkably well. Her calm demeanor suggests stability, but stability rarely appears without reason. Often it is the result of hardship, of experiences that force someone to develop control simply to survive. Sanhua's composure may not be natural. It may be the result of learning that losing control carries consequences. Sanhua's story is deeply connected to loyalty. Her relationship with Jinzhou's leadership, particularly figures like Jinzi, highlights the importance she places on duty. She does not follow out of blind obedience. Instead, her loyalty comes from conviction. She believes in the stability and future that Jinzhou represents. After the devastation of the lament, cities like Jinzhou survive only through cooperation and trust. Sanhua dedicates herself to protecting that fragile stability. Her role becomes less about personal ambition and more about safeguarding something larger than herself. In many ways, she embodies the quiet backbone of the city, not its most visible defender, but one of its most reliable. Another subtle element of Sanhua's character lies in the idea of memory. Her blindness and unique perception of the world change how she experienced her surroundings. Instead of relying on sight alone, she senses the world through resonance and presence. This altered perception creates a deeper awareness of movement and energy, but it also creates distance. Seeing the world differently can isolate someone from others who experience it normally. Sanhua adapts to that difference with remarkable composure. Rather than allowing it to become a weakness, she transforms it into an advantage. Her awareness becomes sharper, her reactions become faster, and her reliance on discipline grows even stronger. Sanhua's calmness often gives the impression that she is emotionally distant, but emotional control does not mean emotional absence. Instead, it means the ability to prioritize responsibility over personal feeling. For someone entrusted with protecting others, this control becomes essential. If every decision were driven purely by emotion, clarity would disappear. Sanhua's ability to remain composed ensures that her judgment stays reliable even during moments of crisis. However, that control also creates a certain loneliness. When someone constantly suppresses their emotions for the sake of duty, they may slowly become separated from the people they protect. This tension adds depth to Sanhua's character. She protects others, but rarely allows herself the same vulnerability. There is a philosophical idea often associated with martial disciplines. True strength appears calm. The most experienced fighters rarely move excessively. They conserve energy, they wait for the right moment. Sanhua embodies this philosophy perfectly. She does not rush, she does not panic, she waits. And when the moment arrives, she acts with decisive precision. Her combat style reflects this patience. Instead of overwhelming enemies with constant aggression, she controls the flow of the fight, creating openings and striking with accuracy. This approach makes her feel less like a storm and more like a blade of ice, sharp, silent, and impossible to ignore once it moves. Stories often focus on the most dramatic heroes, the ones who charge forward with bold declarations and visible power. But societies are rarely protected by those individuals alone. They are also protected by quiet guardians, people who work without recognition, who remain vigilant long after the excitement of battle fades. Sanhua represents that kind of guardian. She does not seek praise, she does not pursue glory. Her satisfaction comes from knowing that the people she protects remain safe, and sometimes that quiet dedication is far more important than heroism. In the world of Wuthering Waves, stability is fragile. Cities rebuild, but threats remain constant. New discoveries bring opportunity, but also danger. Characters like Changli push forward through intellect and strategy. Others, like Encore, bring unpredictable energy. Sanhua provides balance. Her discipline anchors the chaos around her. She ensures that while the world continues to change, some things remain dependable. That stability is what allows Jinju to function as more than just a fortress. It allows it to become a home. Sanhua is not the loudest voice in Jinzhou. She is not the most expressive personality, and she rarely steps into the spotlight. But beneath her calm exterior lies extraordinary strength, a strength built from discipline, from loyalty, and from the quiet determination to protect something larger than herself. She does not burn like fire, she does not roar like a storm. Instead, she stands like a still, unshaken, and when the moment demands it, sharp enough to cut through anything that threatens the world she has sworn to protect.